Good morning, life science students. Mr. Eaton here. Yes, I'm out in the woods. I am taking a walk today. I usually try to walk for anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half, and then I go home. I've got some exercises I do, but in the summertime, my exercise pretty well takes care of itself with the work I have to do around the house, in the yard, and helping neighbors. Anyway, I'm up here to this Monday morning. It's the beginning of week 8. This is a park that it's actually a wilderness area that was originally set up and left to the city of Spokane by, I believe the man's name was Townsend. This park is about half a mile from my house, as I said, and it's not a bad walk here often to walk through here. But one of the things that I do is I look at the legacy that this park is. It was left originally to the city and then later deeded to the county by the man I mentioned earlier as a part of his will. And he left, of course, a sizable estate to his children also, but he left this property to the county with the understanding it would be perpetuated by the county for year after year, and his children have honored that, and down through generations. I think he died sometime in the 1950s. They have also cared for it and kept it wild with the help of the county. Now, it's a place there are no vehicles that come through here, no bicycles. It's strictly for hiking, for animals and birds. It's a wonderful bird sanctuary, especially around the early fall and in through the spring. But one of the things I want to point out is that we're getting into chapter or lesson 7 and on ecology. Now, last week I talked about the look that we have in lesson 6 dealing with frontiers in science and dealing with genetic engineering and with some of the things being done with research, looking at cloning. And in the lessons text, it actually mentions Dolly the sheep, who was the first truly fully cloned organism. And Dolly lived for a few years, and she passed away not too long ago. But anyway, all that to say that this, as we get into lesson 7, and you're looking at ecology, and you're studying ecosystems, and you're studying what an ecosystem is, the difference between a community and an ecosystem itself. A community is the living organisms, and an ecosystem itself actually includes the physical surroundings. So it's the living organisms as well as their environment, and that's the main difference. But as we look at ecology and what it involves with taking care of nature, I'd urge you this week to take some time to get into the Word. Study some of the passages, especially, I believe it's in Romans. Paul writes, "All creation groans in travail, awaiting the day of salvation." When Adam and Eve sinned, and when they chose to disobey God in the Garden of Eden, one of the major effects almost immediately was that nature, which had been under Adam's care up to that point, simply became a victim. And over time, especially after the flood, the effects of sin on God's created world became obvious. So keep those things in mind, and as you're doing that also, I would urge you to take stock of the time. We have 3 weeks left. You should be working on your term paper now, or if you're going to try the special project as an alternative with a digital journal, you really need to be gathering your materials from each lesson for that and getting your written record down so you can be gathering some visuals and maybe some sound bites if you're going to do that for your presentation. And then I will be setting up the Dropbox folder for that this week, so you can input both your term papers or your special project. So that's it for now. I will get back to you later. Last week turned into a real hectic week with a lot of things going on, and I wasn't able actually to get back online until Thursday, just for a brief time. Anyway, I'll be talking more detail. Keep emailing, keep in touch, and I will talk to you soon. God bless.